Brattaloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings your Garage Logic podcast number 1300.
Come on.
Wow,
May
really?
2nd, 2024. 91 degrees on this day in 1959. They had a nice little hot streak in the spring of 1959. 24 degrees on this day in 1875 and again in 1961. You know darn well the swimming season is here any moment. Get a hold of Aquaside. They have a complete line of lake and pond control products that will take care of everything in your swimming area from weeds to algae. Aquaside products are easy to use. They work quickly, and they have met the approval of the EPA and DNR. Call Aquaside. Explain what you're looking at on your beach or your swimming hole, you know, the kind that has the tire swing over it, you know, and you want to fling yourself in there. They'll identify the weed problem. Your place will look great all summer long. Call Aquaside at 1-800-328-9350 or go to aquaside.com. And Aquaside brings you the ice outs. We are really nearing the end. Today, Minnetonka went out in 1950 and 2013. And White Bear went out on this day in 1965. Tomorrow, we will be completely wrapping it up.
Manana?
Yeah, we'll
Hail
be
the
completely
flashlight.
wrapping it up. That's all right.
Oh,
You
I'm
could,
sorry
yes,
about
no,
that.
that's fine. That's just good. Just
Hail
keep
the
it going.
flashlight, King.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
I'm a great fake smoker, and I would have been a great fake priest.
Now shut up.
Yeah. When do you want me to interrupt you again?
Wow. Wow.
I appear before you today, humbled, defeated, having lost, there's no getting around it, having lost all of my knack scale points.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I already know. Oh, no.
I survived the caulking accident when I lost quite a few points in the caulking gun incident. I'm afraid this episode in my life lowers me to below rookie, Height, and Reavers. And I'm not going to mention Kenny. He probably already towered above me in knack scale, but I now am towered over. Towered?
That's how bad it is?
By rookie, Height, and Reavers. I was telling you that my car was intermittently not starting.
Mm-hmm.
I might misclutch it at a stop sign, for example, let the clutch out too soon and not be smooth enough in the transition, and she would die. And then I would attempt to start it. It would not start. When I pressed the starter button, nothing would happen. And then maybe as long as 10 seconds would pass, and she'd fire up. No harm, no foul. Happened a few times. I thought as long as it's 5 or 10 seconds, I can put up with a ghost in the machine. It isn't that serious. And on Sunday last, returning from a knack-inspired errand at the hardware store, at least I was coming home from the hardware store, she died on me again at the intersection of Victoria and St. Clair. I wanted to go westbound on St. Clair. Car wouldn't start. I popped the clutch wrong on the corner and wouldn't start. And 10 seconds easily went by. It wouldn't start. 20 seconds, it wouldn't start. I got out and I pushed the car through the intersection. Wow. And nosed her westbound where there was a bit of a decline. And so the car took off on me, and I began running after it and got in just in time before I was run over myself. And I parked the car and continued to try to start it. Nothing. went home and got a battery charger, a small one.
Mm-hmm.
Brought that to the scene, put her on there, and that didn't make any difference.
Okay.
Then I went home and called a son-in-law who has a better battery charger, portable. I said, let's try that again. And went to the car, and that didn't do it. So I went home and had to get on the computer and figure out how to get some roadside assistance. And I did. And it's a good thing the story turned out the way it did because I had given roadside assistance the completely wrong address of St. Clair, and they'd still be looking for the car.
Okay.
So they said in the internet conversation, where will you leave the keys? I said, I'll leave the keys under the floor mat. So I had to go back to the car. The CP gave me a ride back to the car. We were on our way to the 175th celebration of the Pioneer Press,
Okay.
in which everyone looked very old. But before arriving at the 175th anniversary, I got in the car to put the keys under the floor mat, anticipating, and they never would have found the car because I had given them the wrong address.
Ooh.
And I thought, what the hell, I'll try to start it again. And of course, it started right up.
Boom.
And now I took the car home and put it in the garage, and we managed to cancel the roadside assistance.
Okay.
But I thought, well, this is it. It's going to the dealer now. So I took it to the dealer Monday.
Okay.
And I said, I explained the problem. This car intermittently refuses to start. And often it's been only 10 seconds, but Sunday, for some reason, it was 3 hours. And they said, okay, here's your loaner, leave it with us. I called them late Monday afternoon. They said, we haven't been able to make that happen. We can't duplicate what you're telling us.
Wow.
We found an audio code. We've upgraded your radio. I said, that's not the problem.
Right.
The problem is it's intermittently not starting. Okay, leave it with us tonight. We want to know. We want to check it again in the morning. They called me again the next morning and said, we're not able to make this happen. We have gone through every possible code we can come up with. And short of tearing your engine out of the car, we don't know what to do. And even if we tore the engine out of the car, we wouldn't really necessarily know what we're looking for. You say it stops, it intermittently stops. I said, yes, it's placing me at risk. So, So yesterday afternoon during the show, I received a text saying your car is ready. But they virtually said in that message, we were unable to duplicate the problem. I said, okay. I went out there, and on the way there, I was preparing remarks. I was thinking,
look, it's a trial.
Well, I was preparing remarks, and when I got there,
I
demanded, I said, who's the boss here? I was being polite. I said, who's the head guy? And I talked to, was my service rep, said, well, it was this guy, Greg. So I said, I'd like to see Greg. And we went into Greg's office.
Oh, no.
And I said, and I introduced myself, and I admit, I thought maybe my name would help. He didn't know me from a bale of hay. And
he name dropped himself.
I did. Because you know what I was angling for? A different car. Because as we've all pointed out, what if this happened in the middle of a rush hour? I'm stuck on the freeway with 3 miles to the next exit.
Yeah, in the dead of winter.
In the dead of winter.
Right.
And they said, well, I said, what if this happens again? And they say, he was really cool, polite, and I was too. And he said, man, I don't know what we have to call. We'll call Subaru in at that point. We'll bring them. If we have to fly them from Japan, we'll get them here. And I said, okay, you guys did everything you could. I get it. And the car was waiting for me right outside his door in the service bay. And I thanked them, and they gave me my paperwork, which absolutely no charge, of course. The car's only got, in fact, the service guy said to me, do you ever drive this thing? It's only got 1,600 miles on it. And I said, I just got it in February. And he said, okay. So I got in it to leave. Wouldn't start.
Oh, no.
I'm honking the horn. I'm celebrating.
Oh, God.
I'm saying, boys, it happened. I get out of the car. I run back in. I drag the service guys out.
Oh, no.
I said, it just did it. It just did it.
Oh, no.
Service guy gets in, starts the car. Started right off the bat. Now I'll ask the question. And this is what's caused me to plummet to the depths of the knack scale. I don't even exist anymore on the knack scale.
You're Mariana's Trench.
That's right. What was I doing wrong, boys?
Joe, I don't have that style vehicle. I'm right with you. I don't know.
I wanted to take a stab at this when the mayor first appeared in the studio today, and he said, save it, Larry. Save it for the stage. And I said, okay. And I wrote down key fob. Your key fob was not close enough to the vehicle. You either had it in your bag in the back seat, or it wasn't close enough, is my guess.
Interesting that you say that. On the Sunday episode that was the last straw and drove me to the dealer, the first thing I had the CP do was bring me back the spare key fob, because I was convinced the key fob had run out of a battery.
Okay.
Then she brought me the spare key fob. That made no difference.
I think you've had that problem with a different vehicle.
I did, and that was because if you leave a key fob in the vehicle, it communicates with the vehicle 24 hours a day.
So it drains.
So in another car, I had left it in there all winter. It drained the battery. That's not the problem.
So when you sit in your car,
I sat in my car.
You have a key fob.
And I put my foot on the stuff and pressed the button, and nothing happened.
Foot goes on the brake. Hit the button and nothing happens.
Well, it's a manual transmission.
So you got to put the clutch in.
Did you not have it in neutral or park? Did you have it in?
That doesn't make any difference.
Yeah,
what
because
year it's in.
it stopped. But why would it stop on the turn? You thought you were doing bad clutch work.
It was every time it had failed to run, it was a result of me causing the car to fail. Causing the car to stop. Just a bad clutch transformation.
That's what I thought. And I went so far as to say, it's a sensor switch or something, gone bad.
Kenny, it is a sensor switch. That's a clue.
Oh, is the shifter on the floor? Or is it?
Yes,
it's on the floor. Right? Okay.
It's a very simple answer, which is why I deserve to be stripped of all my knack points. I don't even deserve to be your mayor.
What else could it be if it's
I wasn't pushing the clutch in all the way.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Why? Because of your bad foot?
No, I just thought I was pushing it on the times.
Short little monkey legs?
in the times it wouldn't start. Now, I'm going to add a proviso. On the times it wouldn't start, those 10-second episodes, obviously I wasn't pushing the clutch in, and then I must have pushed the clutch in all the way. But I will say this in my defense. You mean in 3 hours Sunday, I managed to never push the clutch in far enough?
That was my next question. Why Sunday? Didn't you push the clutch in when you tried to
And then when I finally came back to leave him the key, I must have pushed the clutch in all the way because it started right up.
Does the clutch offer a lot of resistance where it's
a brand new car with a wonderful clutch, but now that I've experimented with it, I can feel that if you don't push that all the way in, you're not going to engage a receptor that says, hey, the owner of this car just pushed the clutch in. Let's start it.
I jotted down a couple of questions with permission to approach the bench, Your Honor. Number one, why didn't you call Mike?
Mike who?
Schoonover.
I didn't.
Or has he blocked your number?
No, it was Sunday. Why? There was nobody to ask anything. I went through everything.
Number two, you walked home.
No, I called.
Well, no, you walked from where the car was stopped. Did you?
No, I called for a ride.
Okay. Yeah. That brings me to my third question.
Yeah.
you were on your way to the 175th anniversary of the Pioneer Press. Does this mean that you had to leave the potato salad you were supposed to bring? Was that in the back seat then of the car?
Left that at home.
Okay.
Yeah, that was heating up in the back.
You didn't push it.
I didn't push the clutch in far enough.
You know that I like making fun. It's my number one hobby.
It's your
making
goal
fun
in
of
life.
you.
Yeah.
I love mocking you.
Yeah.
I can't mock you for this. This is engineers over engineering or lawyers or something. They're doing it across the board on all equipment. Anything that runs, they're doing this to. Cars, trucks, farm machinery, lawnmowers, everything. They have destroyed it. In the past, this wouldn't have been an issue. It never would have come up in the past.
This is a day where I do miss taking live phone calls because the emails are pouring in from the Garage Logic Town Council.
Well, Kenny, to further emphasize your point, there probably was a day when the clutch was an independent entity of any other stuff. In other words, there was a day when the clutch was just the clutch, and today the clutch is hooked up to other safety regulations. And so unless the clutch meets the requirements of whatever kill switches or whatever they've attached to it, it won't start.
Yeah.
I'm trying to dig myself out of this hole.
No, I am not. I don't think you're guilty, and I think you're being way too hard on yourself. I've been in some pretty sticky situations with some pretty big equipment due to these safety features. That's BS. It's nonsense.
Chris emails. He is he was a proud member of the town council.
I'm so mad right now, Joe.
Hey, Reavers, I am a former tech at a certain Subaru dealership and still have friends that work there. I reached out to see what was happening with Joe's car as a proud member of the Garage Logic Town Council. Well, come to find out, Joe wasn't pushing in the clutch all the way. We in the service industry would call that driver education or a loose nut behind the wheel. Use this information as you see.
Thank you very much.
That just makes me even more angry. It really does.
Really?
Yeah, it really does. I'm really upset. I was so looking forward to mocking you, and now I'm really mad.
I think I'm mockable.
You've taken that away from him.
Oof.
And as an experiment, I'll take you all down and you can do it yourself. When you push the clutch in and you think you're all the way, you can get another quarter inch out of it. Another half inch.
Now you're going to be an expert. Now you're.
And I think that quarter inch or half inch is engaging something. Is touching something.
So now are you just pushing it to the floor?
Oh, I get her to the floor.
Yeah, okay.
You know what? I got to go home. I am so angry. I can't continue working here. I'm so mad.
Oh,
God. That is a good. You should have Rook and I give her a shot down in the garage.
And these guys at the dealership were so polite.
Right.
It was all they could do to stop from guffawing.
Well, usually it's probably elderly gals that have this issue.
Yeah.
But what I've learned about elderly gals is they'll get out the owner's manual and they'll read it cover to cover and they'll educate themselves.
This wouldn't be in the owner's manual.
Oh, okay.
But
would it? No, this wouldn't be.
I don't know.
Not.
I don't read owner's manuals. Come on, man.
Rookie did bring up a good point. Is the clutch, is that the injured foot? Was that the...
No.
It's the other foot.
That's the good one, not the club one.
That's all been fixed.
Okay.
No, but just saying that the strength might not have been.
It wasn't a club foot.
It was a bunion.
Yeah.
Like Tom Dempsey.
The right foot was operated on. It's healed. Is perfect. No, this is the clutch foot. The left foot.
Yeah, but the bunion looked like an extra toe.
Yeah. Well, it's gone now, Rookie, and we don't need to worry about it.
Okay, good.
Remember the days, Joe, when you were younger and you didn't have any money and you were driving a crap can and you had to leave from a stop sign that might have been uphill and you had to work the brake, the clutch, and the throttle all at the same time, and you'd put the heel of your right foot on the brake and the toe of your right foot on the accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how we learned. That's how old guys learned to drive.
I remember the days when I had a 1929 Model A Ford. My old man one day said, "Let me drive this thing." And he tore around town. Well, he said, "Watch this. Never using the clutch. You could just slide it into various gears."
Wow.
Because apparently that's what they did.
Yep.
And here I'm not pushing the clutch in.
I'm not blaming you. I'm not. I can't.
Man.
I was really hoping it was going to be the key fob. Dang it. I was really.
Yeah, I was really hoping it was something really stupid.
Well, and again, it's funny you mentioned that because that's the first thing I went to.
Was the key fob.
Yeah.
Because I've had a key fob die. I mean, it's not fun.
Yeah. For the